Hey everyone, I'm Joe and today I'm going to be doing the finish the book tag. I wasn't tagged to do this by anybody, but I did see Dane, whose channel is Dane Read, the fellow booktuber, do it, and it looked interesting because this is a tag which focuses on reading preferences rather than particular individual books, which is the sort of tag I personally prefer to do. And indeed, that is why I don't do tags as often as other types of videos. Anyway, this tag contains 8 questions, 7 of them are full questions. The 8th is a optional question of sorts. And without further delay, I'll get straight into talking about the questions. So, question 1 is, do you keep a list of the books you've read? And that is very simply, yes, I use Goodreads as do many other booktubers. Every time I start reading a book, I'll mark it down. When I've finished reading it, again, I'll mark it down as finished and read. I've been doing this since the start of my channel, and I can't see any reason to stop. Even if I stop making videos, which for the record is not going to be likely anytime soon, because I really enjoy making videos, so that's going to continue for a long time. Even if I didn't stop making videos, though, I wouldn't stop using Goodreads. I would still be using Goodreads for many more years, I think. But of course, things change, in life. So, I couldn't say for sure that, I might suddenly have to stop for whatever personal reasons might occur. Question 2 is, if you record stats, what stats do you record? And very simply, yes, I do. I have a spreadsheet which I designed myself, although it is inspired by Brock's spreadsheet, which I'll link in the description box below. I do 2 videos a year to do with stats. In fact, I do a mid-year one, which should be up roughly around this sort of time, end of June, start of July, and I do a full year one at the very end or very start of December, January. And the thing that I'm personally interested in is both my book reading and my book obtaining stats. And by obtaining, I mean books that I both buy and books that I obtain through gifts, through either presents or through the publisher. And my stats are not as complex, I suppose you would say, as some people. Some people focus on the skin colour of the authors and their sexuality and that sort of thing. I'm not. I just want to focus on gender and years published and the sort of the bigger, sort of wider aspects, and that's quite enough for me. Because anything more, and it's going to take me a lot longer to record it every time I finish a book. And frankly, I'm not interested in them sort of stats anyway. Even watching other people, it doesn't really interest me as much. I want to know the broader aspects, just so I've got an overall sort of feel for what I'm reading, rather than really quite specific, which to me is not that exciting. Question 3 is, do you give star ratings for books? And if so, what do you give them out of? And how do you choose them? And I used to do this up until extremely recently, in fact only like a month or 2 ago. But as of this moment, June 2018, I've actually stopped for now with star ratings on Goodreads, and I've never gathered star ratings in any other way. The reason that I've stopped on Goodreads is because it just felt very arbitrary. There was no effect. It didn't affect me in any way giving them star ratings, because I don't frankly care about star ratings. I want words on why somebody liked a book or why they didn't like a book. Giving them star rating is vaguely an outline, and I suppose I might give them, might still use them as such, but they don't have much of a meaning to me. It's just like a general sort of like, if it's 5, then obviously they thought the book was probably rather impressive, and if it was like 2 or something, or even 1, then yeah, you might want to think about reading it, because it's probably terrible as far as I'm concerned. So it's just like a vague guideline, and frankly, not that bothered by it. Question 4 is, do you review books? And obviously I do. Now, I don't do as many written reviews as I do video reviews. This used to be the other way around. When I first started this channel 4.5 years ago, which is remarkable to think it's for being 4.5 years, I used to do a lot more written reviews on Goodreads than I did video reviews. This is quite simply because I found written reviews at the time easier, and video reviews were much harder. Well, video making in general was harder 4.5 years ago. Now, videos are much easier for me to make because I'm a lot more confident in front of the camera, and written reviews are more difficult because I still don't have any training or education in that particular area, and I'm still not entirely always sure what to put for written reviews. So video reviews are the thing I like to do. Question 5 is, where do you put your finished books? And this is very simple because I have no distinction between read books and unread books. My books are just on these shelves behind me and over there as well. There's actually quite a few shelves in this room that you've never seen. And I don't care whether it's read or unread because I know what I've read. Just by looking at my shelves, I can just say, right, I've read that book, but I haven't read that book. That's all I need to know. Anything else would be annoying. Also, that would mean I have to keep constantly rearranging my shelves every time I read an unread book. Say, for instance, if I had my unread books over there, I'd then have to move them onto these shelves above me. All my books will have to be shuffled around, and it'd be frankly annoying. And I don't want that. I want it simplicity, is what I like. So, it works out. Question 6 is, how do you pick your next book? And for this, there really isn't no answer as such. I mean, I don't plan my books in advance overly much. There are sometimes a buddy read or two that I've got in mind. I mean, as of this moment, there will be a few next month that I'm reading. Actually, one of them starts being the next week. But on the whole, there's nothing planned particularly. I normally have a particular author most times where I think, right, I want to read that series or that trilogy or whatever, and that's what I'm going to focus on very soon. But as to the next book, no, I don't normally know. It's like I finish one book and then I just look at my shelves and something just presents itself to me in some way. I just notice it for whatever reason, and it's just like, that would work right now. Considering the ideas of the book I've just read, that book would probably work well, and that's basically what I've always done. Question 7 is, do you have any rituals when you have finished a book? And for this, the answer is not really. I mean, I tend to have a longer break now between books because I want to sort of stop reading a book and I want to think about it a little bit more and sort of try and sort my thoughts out, because of course in preparation for videos and things, because then I can, if I've directly finished a book and then immediately read another, sometimes I can start and it's a similar vaguely feel book. Say 2 hard science fiction books, for instance. Sometimes the ideas from the 2 books can sort of bleed into one another a little bit. That's not ideal for wrap-ups, so I like to have a little bit of a break in between, and I do only mean a few hours, but I can just sit there and I can just think about the book, organise my thoughts, and then when I come to do a wrap-up at the end of the month, I actually know what I'm going to say, and I don't start mixing books up, which is kind of important because sometimes some months I might read a lot of the same type, sometimes I might not. It varies, but getting into a good habit is what I need, frankly. And the 8th optional question is, who do you tag? And as I was not tagged to do this by anybody, I'm not going to tag anybody myself. But I will say that if this tag looks interesting to you, then please feel yourself to have been tagged by me, and please do the tags. I personally think the questions on this are quite interesting. And with that said, that is it for this video. If you want to give me any of your answers for any of these questions, which for the record the questions will be in the description box below, then please feel free to leave a comment and we can have a talk about it. All my social media links can be found in the description box below, as they always are. And with that said, that is it for this video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you another time. Bye for now.